Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Okay, good evening, ये class कितने बजे चल रहा है? And it's been few weeks when live start. Okay, we are live now. So guys, as you know, today's topic, okay, is pandas. Okay, so we are going to see the pandas library in Python. How to use it? First of all, we'll start with the very basics. We'll see everything that what are the things present, how it is used, and then mostly, I'll keep this live session as an introduction to Python and what are the things in Python which are present, okay? And we'll explore them, we'll see how to use them, and then afterwards, we'll take then examples of multiple data sets and we'll see how to clean them and we'll see everything. So, stay tuned up. So, guys, in the previous live sessions, we have already covered the NumPy, okay? So if any one of you are interested in that, so you can go on the channel and check that videos, or I'll just specify the links so you can check out from that also. Now, as usual, uh, now what we have learned in the previous live session, all the live sessions, I have formed 10 to 15 quiz questions, okay, based on yes or no. So I'll just provide you guys that questions and you have to just reply it in yes or no. We'll just have a very quick quiz session and then after onwards, we'll start with our new topic, which is pandas. Okay. So let me bring the first question. Okay. So the first question for today's live session is, does np dot a comma b, now refer as a is an array and b is also is an array, okay, always perform element wise multiplication, yes or no? So you guys have to simply reply in yes or no, okay? Okay, I can see one no in the chat. So okay, I can see only one no, so I'll go with no. So perfect not 3 is saying that it is no. Yes, he's correct, it is no, okay, because np dot function, which is present in numpy, which is present in the which was present in our previous live sessions, okay, this function is used for the matrix multiplication, which is done in 2D arrays, okay? So it is used for matrix multiplication, not for the element-wise multiplication, okay? So yeah, okay. Now the next question is question number two. Is NP dot multiply A comma B? Now again, A and B are separate arrays equivalent to A multiply B for arrays. Yes or no? Now this is the very easy one. I hope everyone should know this answer. So guys, do reply in the chat, okay? I check each and every chat, okay? And wherever you feel problem or you've not understood, so you can just ask, okay? Okay, I can see multiple yes in the chat. So I'll go up with yes. So for the question number two, yes is the correct answer. Okay. So NP dot multiply is equivalent to A multiply B. Yes, it is correct. Now the next question is, this question is based on the last live session which we have yesterday only. So this is your question. Question number three, is NP dot random dot normal? Okay, location 0, scale 1, size 100. Used to draw from a normal distribution. Yes or no? Guys, just let me know. Uh, is my screen visible and my voice is audible? I feel that there was some issue in my network, okay? So please don't mind, and if anyone is facing any type of problem, so you guys can just refresh it, okay? Just refresh it. So it will be fixed. And I hope it's solved now, okay? So I can see few people have replied yes in the chat, said yes and yes. So for this question, okay, yes is the correct answer, okay, guys. Let's move to the next one. So the next question is question number 4. That is, can you save and load NumPy arrays losslessly using np.save and np.load? Yes or no? Yeah, I can see yes. So we'll go with yes. Yes is the correct answer. Now let's move to the next question. Okay, let's see who knows the answer of this question. That is, the question is question of 5. Is np.where condition x comma y used for element wise conditional selection? Yes or no? Let's see who knows the answer of this question. I can see one yes in the chat. Okay, so I'll go with yes only. So yes is the correct answer. And the next question is in your screen. That is question number 6. Can np.argument max arg max a return the index of the maximum element? Yes or no? As I can see again, there is one yes in the chat. So, not wasting time, I'll go with yes. Okay. And it is yes. So, yes is the correct answer for this. That yes, the argument max function return the index of the maximum element. So, that is correct. Okay. The next question is on your screen. Can np.all function, okay, a greater than 0? So can np.all a greater than 0 check if all values in an array are positive? Yes or no? Means in a are positive. Consider a to be an array. So now guys reply yes or no. Okay, I can see one yes in the chat, so I'll go with yes. So yes is the correct answer. That's correct. Now, guys, the next question is question number 8 that is on your screen, and that is that does np dot any function a less than 0 check whether at least one element is negative? So yes or no? Now this all and any they both are same segment functions, okay? So now this is the hint which I have given. Let's see how many of you can give the correct answer now. Okay, one yes. Okay, let's go with yes. So yes is the correct answer for this question. Okay, we are getting mostly yes questions only. Now, guys, the next question is, and this will be the second last question for this quiz session, okay, of today's live session. So, okay, just give me the answer. The question is question number 9, that is, does np.std a compute variance instead of standard deviation? Yes or no? Okay, I can see one yes, one no. So people are confused, I guess. So let me give you the answer for this question number 9. That is, it will be no. Okay, it gives us the standard deviation, not the variance. So STD function is used to give the standard deviation, not to compute the variance. So it is no. Okay. Now the next question is, next and the last question for this quiz session is, can np.ntier function be used to iterate efficiently over array elements? Okay, yes or no? Okay, guys, I'll again repeat the question. Can np.ntier function be used to iterate efficiently over array elements? Yes or no? Okay, I can see one yes. Okay, anyone who want to reply, who knows the answer of this question? Okay, I can see one more yes. Good, good. Okay, so there are a couple of yes in the chat. So let me tell you, yes is the correct answer. Okay, Rahul Saini is saying no. So no is incorrect. Yes is the correct answer because this entire can be used with loops to iterate over the elements. Okay, if you have a if you have a two-dimensional or three-dimensional array, then okay. So yeah, that is the concept. So okay, guys, we are over with the quiz session. Now we'll continue with our topic, uh, which is pandas, and basically we are trying to. It is also one of the data science essentials, and so let's start with pandas. So I'll just do what? Just give me one moment. Let me just bring up this cell at the bottom. Okay, here. Yeah. Now, guys, what is panda? First of all, we have seen NumPy, and yeah, I hope I'm audible now. Yeah. Okay. So, guys, tell me, first of all, what is pandas? Okay. So, just like we have already seen the NumPy now, and I have told that NumPy was the very basic thing, okay, which we need to know whenever we are talking about data science and data analysis. Okay. So, now what is pandas? So Pandas is also a module just like a NumPy, okay, but for different purpose. Okay, Pandas has different use cases in respect to NumPy, but both are work together or both are bring up together to perform a task. Most of the time they have bring up together in uh, data science and data analysis thing. Okay, in machine learning also
The basics comes up with NumPy and Pandas only. We have a data set, we train the data set. So before training or before visualizing the data set, we need to clean it. So because of that, and after cleaning, we have to strategize it. If it is numerical data, so we have to bring up with some statistics. If it is a categorical data, we have to find some mode, and there are different such operations. Okay, so we are not going to go in that much detail now. Okay, we'll just keep our focus to Pandas. Okay, for now. So I've already told you Pandas is a module in Python. Okay. So Pandas is basically a Python library. Okay. Which is used for data manipulation and analysis. Okay. So that is the big thing. Or just write it this that Pandas is a Python library which is used for data manipulation and analysis. Okay. This is the thing. Now, why Panda is used so much? Okay, this is because it provides us two powerful data structures. Okay, now guys, when we talk about Python, so Python has its own built-in data structures also by default present. Okay, that is the list, tuple, set, and dictionary. Okay, but other than that, the pandas provide, and just like in NumPy provides its array. So pandas also provides us two powerful data structures for array to convert it into pandas for performing data manipulation or analysis. We have the first thing called as, so let me just write it, that it provides two powerful data structures. Okay, the first one is series. Okay, so the first data structure which is present in pandas or which is provided by pandas library is the series. Okay, now what is this series data structure? It is basically for the arrays. Okay, or you can say one dimensional. Okay, one dimensional labeled, one dimensional and labeled array. For that type of thing, series is there for one dimensional labeled array. Okay, now what if you have a data set which is in row and columns, means in a table format. Okay, in a tabular structure, just like your SQL sequence query languages, your databases, they are in row column format. Okay, so then for that, what you have, suppose you have Excel files, then how you will extract them? If you have CSV files, so they are present in row column format. So then for that, what you have, so for that type of thing, you have the panda provides you data frame, and this is very much powerful, and series is also very much powerful. Okay, so then there is two dimension. This is the second data structure provided by pandas is called a data frame, and it is applied on two dimensional. Okay, labeled table like a structure. Now what is a table like a structure? Which has row and columns both. Okay, on those type of data sets, you can convert it into data frame, and then you can apply whole data manipulation and data cleaning and data analysis thing. Okay, all the things. And one more thing about pandas is that it is built on the top of NumPy and is extremely fast and flexible. Okay, now I feel that anyone should have uh, ask a question to me, but okay, if no one asks, then I'll ask to myself. Okay, now when I give the statement that pandas is built on top of NumPy and is extremely fast and flexible. Okay, so I thought that you guys will ask me that what you said or what do you mean by this. Okay, so Now, this is a very big statement that Pandas is built on top of NumPy and is extremely fast and flexible. Okay. Now, what do you mean by that? And what I mean by saying that, okay, so built on top of NumPy, it basically means that Pandas internally uses NumPy. Okay. So internally, the NumPy concepts are getting used. Now, I'll explain you how. So Panda uses internally, it uses NumPy arrays to store and process its data. Just like the Panda series, it is built on the top of the 1D array concept, 1D array, 1D NumPy array. Okay, to be more specific, and Panda's data frame is built on the NumPy 2D arrays and some of the optimized blocks of it. Okay, so because of this, all operations are vectorized in nature. So because of this, all operations are vectorized in nature, and the calculations which we do, which we perform, are much faster than pure Python list or loops. Yeah, that is the thing. This is where the list, the I have told you, no, that the Python has their built-in data structures also. Then why we have a need of NumPy and Pandas library? Because of this, that all operations are vectorized, just like in NumPy it is there, and the calculations then becomes much faster, okay, than comparing to the pure NumPy, not NumPy, in comparing to the pure Python list and or means loops. Now, the third thing is it can handle the large data set efficiently, and that we'll see with our in our upcoming live sessions when we deal with our pandas. Now, pandas and NumPy will come more often, okay, because they work together, okay. Whenever we perform anything in our data set, I have taken one live session in that. Um, that video will be on my channel only. So on that, what we have done, I have basically taken a data set that is a freely available data set, Titanic, and on the data set, I have shown you guys that how a data analysis is being done, or we can do data analysis on a data set, okay, and what are the objectives and how you do it. Basically that thing. So before starting, those who are new today, okay, and first time watching this video and not getting or not understanding anything, so I'll refer you guys that first continue to watch this video, okay, because this is the first part of the pandas library. Then go on the channel and start with that live session, okay. I'll give you the link, okay, after the live ends. I'll give you the link of all the things. Now, the fourth merit is that it inherits NumPy's power, okay, like broadcasting, then fast mathematics, memory efficiency. So it basically, the pandas is like it is incorporates NumPy's also, and panda has something of its own also, okay. So that's why it becomes more faster. So that's why I've given the statement, okay. So basically, the pandas is a higher level tool that uses NumPy under the hood. Okay. So now I feel that I have explained that statement. And now you guys have understood that statement. Okay. And why it is extremely fast? It's because of it uses the C optimized NumPy internals. I think that everyone knows here. Okay, that NumPy is built by using C language. Okay, few things of the C languages. Because of that, the arrays is more efficient uh, in comparison to the list. Okay, then one more reason why pandas is fast, because operations are vectorized here. Okay, means they are processed in bulk, not one by one. So that is also one reason. And pandas avoids the slow python loops, so because of that also it is very fast. And it is optimized indexing, means it has optimized indexing, grouping, merging, and filtering. For these types of things we have separate functions present, okay, separate methods are there, so because of that it becomes very fast. So now I hope uh, all the things which I have told you about pandas is clear. Now, guys, if you have anything which you have not understood, okay, so you can just ask me in the chat, okay. I always go through the chat 1 or 2 minutes late, but I'll reply it, okay. So don't worry. Now, what I need to do, first of all, you guys don't need to install pandas, for that you can write this code pip install pandas. And not only I am using Jupyter Notebook, if you guys are using VS Code or PyCharm or any other editor, so you can just write this command and it will work. So in my case, I have already, means obviously I have already pandas with me, so that's why it says requirement already satisfied. In your case, if you don't have this, so it will download some of the things. Make sure that internet is connected, and yeah, it will be downloaded and it will be installed. To verify that if it is installed or not, so what you can do, you can import pandas as PD. Now we are importing pandas and we are giving a alias name PD. What is this alias name? We have given this alias name and we have used this alias name when we are importing NumPy also. Import NumPy as NP. So what is this as? This as is basically a pet name, okay, which we are giving to our module pandas, okay, that instead of writing pandas whole time whenever we are calling a function from the pandas module, we are going to write PD. Instead of writing the pa and ds, we will write PD. Okay, so this is the pet name. Just like some of you have a very large name, okay, so your mother, your father, your parents, your brother, sister gives you, or your friends gives you a pet name, a short name. So that is this. For pandas, the pet name is PD. Okay, and it's not compulsory that you will give PD only. You can give whatever you want. It's upon you. It's totally upon you. But PD is used in the Python thing. Okay, most of the developer and everyone uses this only. That's why it is very common and people automatically understands by looking out at PD. Okay, so this is one thing. Now, when you have to check the version, so this is, you can verify it by importing pandas as PD, and if you check PD dot, and if you use this attribute version underscore underscore version underscore underscore, so this will, if pandas is installed correctly, so this will give you the version. Okay, now with this you can install and verify how pandas works in, this is how you can install pandas in your system, and this is how you can verify that it is installed or not. Now after that, okay, there is one more question, which is a very good question, and I should write this. That the question is that why pandas is used. Okay, this is the first question, and then in the same question there is one more question: why is it important in data science? Okay, so these two questions, okay, I feel that a beginner, who is a beginner and who is a keen learner, who want to learn data analysis and data science, or who want to go or switch his career in data science thing, so those people will have this thing, that why pandas, why, okay, why this only. Now why pandas, we have seen many of the things we have already discussed about, that this provides series data frame. Then I've given you some uh, basics parts also, that it is built on top of NumPy, why it is faster. I've given you many reasons. Now besides of that reasons, okay, there are many things which are pandas has its own, and those things are, um, pandas is important because raw data is messy. Okay, and pandas helps you clean, transform, and explore it quickly. So I don't know how many of you have gone through some of the data set, or you guys have worked in, or checked some of the large big Excel files. I don't know, but those who have gone through that types of files, so they will understand that how many datas are there, and they are in very messy form. Messy in the sense, guys, uh, messy you can refer as not understandable, or values are missing, some of the columns values are missing, error values, okay, these types of things, outliers are there. So this could be an example of raw data, okay, raw data which is messy. Okay, so pandas does what, it handles the data, it loads the data, and helps you clean the data. Okay, clean it means that it will check that how many null values are there, then it will remove the null values, or if you want to fill those null values with mean or mode, If it is a numerical data, then with mean. If it is a categorical data, then with mode. So you can fill that data. Then you can transform that data. You can group by, if you want to check the relationship between two categories or anything, then you can check with the pandas, using pandas. Okay, so that is there. Okay, if you want to group by your two categories, if you're suppose a very large data set, you want only few of them, you want only few of the categories, so you can group by also. Okay, and you can explore it very quickly by writing simple one line or two lines of code, mostly one lines of code only. So that makes panda useful. Okay, so now why pandas? Because again, and I'll give you step by step everything. So now the first thing is that easy to load. Okay, easy to load CSV files. What is CSV files? Comma separated values. Excel files. Okay, SQL data means the databases, easily you can load it. Okay, the next thing is that there is the support of fast filtering, then slicing is there, then selecting is there. Now after that, powerful cleaning. Okay, whenever you have to clean your data, so there are very efficient tools present which are very easy, and for pre-processing the data also, it is very much easy, it becomes easy. Okay, then built built-in handling support, okay, of missing values, that we get with pandas. Okay, and that is the, I feel, one of the best things which pandas provides. Okay, uh, you can fill the missing values. Okay, with finding with the mean values, with the average value, or if it is a categorical data with the most occurrence ones. Okay, so that the data will be not that biased. Okay, the data set will not be biased. So it maintains it. One of the most important thing which I feel is that it maintains the unbiasedness. That is also one thing. Okay, uh, the next one is that easy statistical analysis and aggregation. Yeah, that is there, but you have to, then for statistical analysis and all, you have to go with the numpy. Means you can use pandas, but some of the things are present in numpy, so some of the method you have to take it or use it from there, but you can apply it easily over here. Okay, so that is also one important thing. And one more thing, it excellent integration is there with numpy, matplotlib and scikit-learn. Yeah, now this thing, uh, I'll write it, but this thing, this feature, okay, let me just first write it, that the integration with NumPy, uh, Matplotlib, and Skykit. Now, first of all, NumPy we have already seen. Matplot is also a library which is used for data visualization, and scikit-learn is a machine learning library where machine learning algorithms and models are present. Okay, now excellent integration with this feature, excellent integration with NumPy and Matplotlib and scikit-learn. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you anything about this thing, this feature which I have written here, because this feature, there will be one time that you guys will feel it. Okay, you guys will feel it. And with NumPy you guys can easily feel it. Matplotlib and scikit-learn coming up in our coming 2-3 live sessions, you will be, or means you will automatically feel it, that yes, the pandas is very excellent, it has very excellent integration with NumPy, Matplotlib and scikit-learn. And not only this, there are many more libraries with, means the pandas is easily integrated. So that is one important thing which which is why panda is used. Okay, okay, there is one question in the chat which is asked by Rahul Saini 1465. He's saying that, is it better to focus more on pandas than NumPy, or both are equally important to learn and focus? Okay, that is a very good question. See, Rahul, I'll give you one. There is only few line answer to this question. See, NumPy and pandas both are basically the modules of Python only that we already know. Pandas is more used with the data sets. Okay, more used with the data sets on the manipulation with the data sets. When you have a data set, you want to clean it, you want to transform it, you want to fill it with some values. Okay, you want to check the correlation between the categories present. So for this types, or when you want to group by the categories, so for that type of purposes Pandas is used. Okay, but when you have to, or some, if you want to check on the data set, you want to check that what is the statistical approach, or what is uh, if you want to describe it, then that things you can do it with Pandas. NumPy is more often focus on the mathematical and statistical thing. Okay, just like NumPy full form is only numerical Python. Okay, so that is there, arrays are there, then statistical methods are there. Then in yesterday's live session only we have seen the different types of data distributions which are present in the random submodule of NumPy. So there is the different use cases of both of them, but they come up together, because if you have a statistical data and you have to use some of the methods, so you can use that methods with bringing up NumPy in use. Okay, so now the conclusion of your question is, I'll say that if you want, what you can do, you can see, or you can take a brief of NumPy, or you can see the most common functions which are used in NumPy. Okay, and then you can have a brief idea of NumPy, and then you can switch to Pandas. You can start playing, and then you can start playing with the data set, play with the data set, see how you can check a data set, how you can see whatever you want to do. Okay, after that, what you can do after that, slowly, whenever you perform data analysis and you'll feel that you need some Python or NumPy functions, so you can use that NumPy function, and then at that time only you can learn about that NumPy functions. Okay, that you can do. This is one approach which you can follow. So that is the answer of your question. I hope you get it. Okay, so yeah, so we were talking about why Pandas is used. Okay, then why is it important in data science? Okay, now, why it is important in data science? Because, see, 80% of the data science is data cleaning only. Okay, 80% of the data science is data cleaning, and Pandas is the best tool for it. So now you know why it is important for data science. The data set plays a very important and vital role whenever you talk about data science. What is the concept of data science? Understanding the data, the data which you have collected. First, the data should be correct. Okay, so who is going to check that it is correct or not? Okay, so Pandas can play a very important role in making the data set correct by removing the outliers or by removing the null values, so that whenever in future we are going to train our data for any machine learning algorithm, or for any type of outcomes, then before training it, the the model on which we are training it, the model should not make biased decisions, predictions. Okay, our end goal is what? Making predictions. So the data set should not be biased. If it will be biased, it means if it is only one sided, so what will happen? Our training will be biased, and what will be the outcomes and predictions which will be made by our model each time, that will be also biased only, because it is trained only on a biased data set. So that we don't want. So that also we can check it using Pandas. So that is a very important thing. Okay, so this is why Pandas is important in data science. Okay, now we have talked all of the things. Okay, all of the theoretical things, why Pandas is important, why it is important in data science. Now we can continue with the full practical thing. Okay, so now we'll see the basics of Pandas, how we can create a series, how we can create a data frame, how we will read uh, how we can read datas with Pandas. Okay, and let me just check if I have already a data set with me in this section, no, so I need to paste it. Okay, I'll do it. So that is there, and then we'll see how to read different types of files just like CSV, Excel, and JSON. Okay, what are the methods which we can use. Then we'll see how to display the data, and then we'll start by creating our data frame. Then how to create a data frame from list of list, from NumPy how you can create a data frame, how you can select data, how you can select a row, okay, and everything. Okay, so let's continue with our class, with our live session. Okay, so now we'll see the basics. Now guys, one more important thing, that pandas is very easy. Okay, is only on your mind. How you look out your data. First of all, don't get bored with data. Whatever data set you have, just first understand what is the purpose of that data set, what is that data set is for. Okay, this is my personal experience, that's why I'm sharing you. If you'll understand your data set, okay, so then you can, then pandas has tools. Panda is a tool, and inside that tools there are different equipments. Okay, you have seen a toolbox. Okay, so if your bike or your car is not working, or is there some any problem, so what you do, you bring up your toolbox. Okay, you open the toolbox. Your toolbox and different types of tools, different types of equipments, you use it. You open the bike's or car bonnet, and you just do something with the engine and it's fixed. That is the thing with pandas also. Pandas is a toolbox. Pandas have different types of tools, different types of functions, different types of equipments. And what is our data set? Our data set is a bike, our machine, our fridge, our cars. Okay, and using pandas toolkit, we open the toolkit, we use some functions, we clean the data, we transform the data, we manipulate the data, and done. Okay, so that is, yes, it's very much easy. You have to just, functions are already present, so you can, if you one time you will use the function, you will remember that this function is for this purpose. But understanding your data set, that how you will perform that function on that, that is very much important, that we have to learn. Okay, so let's start the very basics of the pandas. And in the pandas, what we'll do, we'll first of all create our both data structures, the series, which is the 1D labeled array, and then the data frame. And we'll take some example and we'll create it. So first of all, we'll start by creating the series data structure. Okay, so let's see how you can create. So first of all guys, we have to import pandas. Now I have already imported pandas in this cell, but to show you guys, I'll again one more time import it. Okay, so import pandas as PD, and I'll create a series. So for series, what I need to do, PD dot series. So series is already a function, and inside this function I'll provide a Python list. Okay, so 10, 20, 30, and 40, and let me print this as series. So when I'll print this series, you will see the structure of the series, how it is. It's not like a normal Python list. A normal Python list is in a horizontal way, okay? And inside the square braces, 1, 2, 10, 20, 30, 40. But series are not like that. Series are 1D, means one dimensional labeled array. Labeled means you can see the indexing here, 0, 1, 2, 3. So it makes it more easy to perform or operate, okay? So this is how you can create your series. There are more ways of creating the series. You can create it with the NumPy array, or you can create it with predefined list or predefined arrays if you have already. So we'll see that also, but let's start with the very basics, and then we'll go, okay, little more, and little more in that way. Now we'll see how we can create a data frame. So for creating a data frame, first of all, a data frame is a two-dimensional table-like structure, okay? So I'll tell you that it's more like a list, but it is more like a dictionary, but actually it's not a dictionary also. So how it's look like? So I'll show you. It's like when you use a dictionary, and inside the dictionary, in the values, you store a list, multiple items. So that is there. So let's say I will create a data frame. Okay, first of all, I'll need to create a dictionary and then I'll convert it into a data frame. Okay, so I have a dictionary called as name in which I have multiple names. So let's say they are my friends. So Ram, Syam, Ria. Okay, and yeah, then let's store their ages also. So 23, 21, 25. Okay, now let's convert it into a data frame. So for that, what we need to do, first of all, you have to take an object. Okay, df is sort of data frame. That's why most commonly df is taken. But this df is dependent on you. This df object name. Okay, I don't need to explain that. You guys already know that thing. Okay, I know. And then if you'll print df, then you'll see that how you are getting it. Okay, so it is a 2D table like structure. As you can see, first there is the indexing 0 1 2, and then there is name that is acting as the column name, and there is age that is acting as another column name, and the values inside our name and age, now they are acting as the rows. Okay, so Ram 23, Syam 21, and Ria 25, and the indexing attached with that also. At 0 there is Ram, at 1 there is Syam, and at 2 there is Ria, okay, with age 25. So this is how you can create a series or a data frame. What is a series? It is a 1D like structure, okay, one dimensional labeled array. And what is data frame? It is two dimensional table like structure. Okay, now give me one moment, guys. I need a CSV file. So let me get one of CSV file with me. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so now we are back. Now we have this data set called as Titanic. I just already have this set data set, and this data set is freely available, and we have already worked on the data set. That's why I'm using this data set, because people who have seen that live session, they will be friendly with this and they can easily connect. Okay, so Titanic.csv. Now the next thing which I'll show you guys is that I'll show you that how you can means how reading data with pandas is very easy. Okay, so first of all, I'll give you the method to read a CSV. Okay, now these are the very basics thing, very basics. So I target those people who are beginner or who just don't know about this thing. So I just think in mind about that people, and then I bring up or I prepare my whole live session on based on that, based on those people. So those who do already know it, I know there will be most of the people who will already know about this function. So it's okay. We'll continue with something which okay, which is advanced also. But for the initial live sessions, we'll keep it in this way only. So guys, first of all, we'll see that how we can read data with pandas efficiently. First of all, we'll try to read a CSV file. Okay, so I have a CSV file with me, and that file name is titanic.csv, and this dataset can be available easily on Kaggle. Okay, I've downloaded it from there, and you can also go and freely download it from there. Okay, if you want to practice. So I've created a data frame, and this is the function, okay, which is present in the pandas, and I've imported pandas as PD. So read underscore CSV. The method or the function name is read underscore CSV, which is a pandas function which is used to read a CSV file. And then what you have to do inside the double quotes or in a string format, you can use a single quote also. You have to write your CSV file name along with the extension .csv. Okay, so my file name was titanic.csv, so I've written that. Okay, now I'll execute this. cell is successfully executed. It means now we have loaded the titanic.csv file and it has been converted as a data frame. Okay, so it is automatically converted it as a data frame. So whenever you read the data set, it will be automatically converted into a data frame. So now you will use df. Okay, now I'll give you some other methods also. Okay, that is if you want to read uh, the excel file. So the method will be df equals to pd dot read excel. Okay, like this, and here you'll write your file name dot extension name also. Okay, so this is the syntax I'm giving you. Okay, I'm not going to execute this cell because it is going to give you an error that this file does not exist. Okay, because I don't have now any excel files present here. And then the next one is to read the JSON files. JSON stands for JavaScript object notation files, okay, where the data is stored in a dictionary formats, and this JSON is used to uh, most of the time it is used to give data to the web pages. Okay, in this format only the data is given to the web pages in key value pair. It's just like dictionary. Okay, so what is the method for that? So the method for that is pd.read JSON. Okay, so it's very simple. Read and then whatever your file is, so that file name. So if it is CSV file, so read underscore CSV. If it is a Excel file, read underscore Excel. If it is a JSON file, read underscore JSON. And then again, the same thing, file name and the extension. Remember that if you're using read Excel function, so the extension should be in XLX. Okay, in that format. If you're using a JSON file, so the extension will be .json. Okay, so be clear with that. It's not like that. If you are using .csv, means if you are using a read underscore CSV function, so you cannot give .xlx and it means Excel format. Okay, so that you cannot do it. It will give you again an error that it does not find the file. It simply give you that error. So that is there. So these are the three functions which are used. Okay, now let's display the data. So we have already imported our titanic.csv. Okay, so then how we will display it? Okay, so for displaying it there are few functions given. Okay, so let me just write it. Displaying data, because now you have loaded the data into a data frame, so now you can display it. So the first method which is used to display the data is df.head. Okay, so head is one of the functions, okay, which is used to display the data, but it does not gives you the whole data. Okay, so what it gives? So it basically gives you the first 5 rows. Okay, so this head is used for the first 5 rows. So you can see that it gives me the first 5 rows 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and along means it just give a sample view of the first 5 rows at how the data set looks like. Okay, as you can see here. So how many columns are there in this titanic.csv dataset? Passenger ID, survived, P class, name, sex, age, siblings, okay, parch, ticket, fare of the means price of the ticket, fare, cabin, and embarked means which class. Okay, so that is there. This is how our dataset looks like. So if you want to get a view of your dataset, so you can use this df.head. Now what will happen if you directly print the df? Okay, so when you will print the df, then it will give you a whole scenario like this. Okay, the starting 5 and the ending 5. Okay, both, as you can see, the starting 5 and the ending 5. Starting 5 for all the categories, means for all the columns it will give you the first 5 and the last 5. Okay, and in middle it will give you dot 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 dot. It means that in middle there are some values, but it is not reading all at once. And then it gives you that how many rows are there and how many columns are there. Okay, so 891 rows and 12 columns are there in your dataset titanic.csv. Okay, and if you only print df, only print your data frame. If you want to check or want a sample view of your dataset, then you can go with df.add. Okay, then if you want the last 5 rows, So then you can go with df.tail function. So this will give you the last, okay, 5 uh, rows of your data set. Now, if you want a summary, of your data set, okay, so then you can go with df.info. Okay, so this info is a function which gives you a summary, of your data set. Okay, now what do you mean by summary? So as you can see, when I've executed this, summary means that how many data columns are there. So total 12 columns are there. Then it will first it will start with the class, means it will tell you that it is a pandas core frame, a data frame. Okay, it is a, means what is the type of your data. So type of your data is that it is a data frame. Then how many range, it will give you that 891 entries are there from 0, and what is the range. So it starts from 0 and it goes till 890. So if you count it from 0 to 890, it will be total 891. Then it will give you how many total data columns are there. So total 12 columns are there. Okay, that we have seen when we are directly printing df also. Then for each column, okay, for each column, how many values are there, and from those value, how many are non null count. It means that how many values are null. Okay, so as you can see on the non null count in the passenger id column. First of all, let's talk about the column. So there is passenger id, survive, p class, name, sex, age, sips, parts, ticket, fare, cabin, and embarked. Okay, now as you can see, in passenger class, total 891 rows are there and or are filled. There is no null value. 891 no none non-null values are there. Then in p class also same, name also same, sex also same. In age, as you can see, only 714 non-null values are there, and the type of that values are float. Okay, it means that total how many rows are there? 891. And out of this 891 values, means 891 rows, you have only 714 rows which are non-null. It means the remaining ones are null values. Okay, so this is also one thing which we can extract using this non-null. Okay, and then there is SIPSUM, pass, ticket, fare, they all are non-null. Then there is cabin, which is 204 non-null values. It means now rest of the non-null values, if we'll subtract 891 with 204, so whatever the value will get, that many values are empty, null. Okay, so these are the things. And one more thing, which column is of which type, means it is storing which type of data, which it has which type of data. So passenger id has a integer type of data, survived has also integer type of data, p class has also integer type of data, name is a object type, obviously name will be in a string format, sex is also object type, age is a floating type, sipsung is a integer, patch is integer, ticket is object, fare is float. Okay, cabin is object type, and embarked is also object type. Then this is the whole description of all the 14 columns will you get when you will use this info. After that, you'll get the d types. Okay, the data types, that how many columns are of which data types. As you can see, it clearly says that float is 2. It means that float data type is there, and only 2 columns are in float data types. Then there is int data type, which has 5 columns are there which are of integer type. Then there is object, there are 5 columns which are of object data type. Okay, how many memory is using this data set is present, means how many data set, means how many memory this data set is taking. So it is taking 83.7 kbs. Okay, kilobytes, it's very less. Okay, so yeah, so that is there. This is what the info gives you, a total summary of your data set. And in the beginning of the pandas, I have told you that first of all you have to understand about your data set. Okay, you have to understand about your data set. Pandas will not going to do for that. Pandas is just a tool. How you're going to use that tool is upon you, and how you are going to use that pandas on your data set, that will be dependent on how well you know your data set. Remember this thing. Okay, remember this thing. This is a very good thing which I'm telling you, it's based on the experience. If you know about your data set, then it will be very, pandas is very easy. Okay. Now, one more thing is there. There is one method called as describe. Okay. Now this function describe is used for it gives you basically the stats, the statistics. Okay. So it gives you the statistics. So because of that reason, this describe function only works on the numerical columns, the numerical categories. It will not work on the object categories, okay? Because it gives the stats. And what stats it gives? So as you can see, when I have run the cell, so it gives you the, first of all, it gives the output in column wise for all the columns, okay? For all the numerical columns, okay? This is one thing. Stats, and I'll just make it more clear. I'll write it for you guys. For all numerical columns, okay? Yeah, okay. Now, how many total numerical columns are there? So we can calculate it from here. 5 integer and 2 float. Now let's count how many columns it has given here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Okay. So total 7 numerical columns were there in the titanium.csv dataset, and it is giving for all the sevens. Now, one more thing. What stats it gives? So first it gives the count, the total count of the numbers. As you can see, in passenger ID total count is 891, 891, 891. In A's there is only 714, means rest of the values are missing. Okay, then 891, 891, 891. Now no values are missing. Then it gives us the mean, the average value. Okay, so 446 is the average value in passenger IDs. In survived, what is the average value? This is the average value. In P class, this is the average value. Age, this is in. Now for age we can have the average value, that what was the average of ages. Okay, then for survived, yes, we can have the average, but the average will more often go with the fare, that what was the average fare charges per person. So that we can, means charges on the people who are on the Titanic. So average fare we can calculate it from here. Then it gives us the standard deviation. Okay, so standard deviation we have already talked about it. It was also in the NumPy. Okay, it is the separation, then the minimum value, then the 25%, then the 50%. Now this 50% is basically the mean. The mean and this 50% will be always same, because mean means the average and 50% is also doing the average only. So it will be same. Then at 75%, what is the value? And at max, what is the value? Okay, so as you can see, so this gives us the stats. So stat gives us count, mean, standard deviation, minimum, 25%, 50%, 75%, and the maximum. It's clear. So these are few things about the very basic things about the pandas. Okay, now we'll see each and everything present in pandas. Okay, so let's continue. So now we'll continue with creating data frames from a dictionary that we have already seen, but again I'll show you. Then from list of list, how we can create a data frame. From NumPy, how we can create a data frame. Okay, and then we'll try to select those data sets. Okay, and then we'll work with them. So I'll have a sample data set. I'll just create a very quick sort. Okay, so let's do that. So okay, I hope till now everything is clear. Okay, because this is easy. So if any problem, guys, I'm again and again repeating it. If any problem, if you guys are facing, if you are not understanding it, so you can just ask me in the chat. Just go for it. Okay, I can see one someone has said, I love the way you teach. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Yeah. So let's create a data frame uh from a dictionary that we have already seen, but okay, no issues. I'll show you one more time. So first of all, pd dot data frame, you have to use the data frame function. Okay, and inside the function, what you'll do now, two things you can do. Okay, you can separately create the dictionary, and then you can put the dictionary name inside the data frame, or you can directly create the dictionary inside the data frame function only. So you can do that also. And this is for example purpose, and this will be very short. I'll take only three values. So because of that, you can do it in this way also. But if you have a large dictionary, then it is more good. Or if you have a large data set, then you know how to read the file. Okay. So name ABC, and for marks will be, let's say, 85, 92, and 78. Okay, like this. So we have, and let me just print this df to show you guys how it looks like. So it looks like this, that name A 85 marks, B 92, C 78. Okay. Now we'll create a data frame from list of lists. Okay. So we'll see how we can create it from a nested list. So list of lists. So df equals to pd dot, and let me make it df1. So it does not matters. You can create means many dfs, but let's make it df1 so it will be easy for us to access it later. Okay, because we have to access it or access it also, no. So I'll just create a nested list. Okay, so there is one. Let's give John. Then I have one more list. I'll give it two. Okay, then I'll have this. And now you have to, when you are creating a data frame using list of lists, so what you have to do first, you have to mention the all the items inside the list. Okay, and if they are list of lists, so first you will have a parent list, and in the child list you will store all the items. So just like 1 John, 2 Bob, 3 something else, 4 something else. Okay, so if you have two values, so two values. If you have three values, suppose 1 John and age is 25, so 25, like this. Then you have to separately have a column. Okay, and this columns, what you have to do, you have to mention id, that 1 2 is what, so 1 2 is id, and John and Bob are what, their name. Okay, and then if you'll print df1, so you will get like this. Okay, so this is from list of list, how you can create a data frame from a list of lists. Okay, then how you can create a data frame from NumPy arrays. So let's see that also. So now for that we have to import NumPy. We have already imported Pandas, so we don't need to import Pandas now, but we have to import it NumPy because we have not imported NumPy. And now we'll create an array using NumPy array function. So I'll create a nested list 1, 2, then 3, 4, then df equals to pd dot data frame, and you have to just simply write the array name, and then you have to specify the columns. Okay, same thing, you have to specify the columns. Let's say our first column is column A, and our second column is column B. Okay, and let me make it df3. So when I'll print df3, you will get this. Okay, so in our column A 1 and 3 are there, in our column B 2 and 4 are there. Okay, so this is how you can create your data frames from dictionary, from list of list, and then from NumPy arrays. Now let's do what? Now I'll show you that how you can select data. So now we'll see that how we can select data. Select data basically means, suppose you want to extract one column of from your data set. So how you can do that? So we'll talk about that. So let's say I have this data set which I have created from a dictionary. So I'll use this df. Okay, in this, just understand the data. Name is there and marks is there. Okay, now I want to access the name. So what I'll do, print df, name of my data frame was df, so I'll write df, and which column I want to extract or which category. Okay, so name. So let's write name. So you will only get the names. Okay, 0, 1, 2 and ABC. ABC were the names, so we are getting only ABC. Okay, okay. Now, what if you want, suppose if you have a data set and from that you want two columns, so then what you'll do? If one column, so you can directly write the name. If you want to write or access two columns, so or two categories, columns and categories, same thing, okay? Categories is called columns, okay? So whenever if I'm using category, so understand that I'm talking about the column. And values, if I talk about the values, so I'm referring to the rows, okay? So category and the values. Category means columns and the values means that I'm talking about the rows. So print df name and marks. Suppose if my data set has multiple categories, so if I want to access only two on them, so then what I can do, name and marks. Oh, my bad, sorry. I will need to put it inside a list, okay? So yeah, so now it will give you, okay? So when one, if you want to extract only one value, so you will write the only name. If you want to extract multiple categories, then what you'll do, then you will, means first of all there is square braces, then you will take one more square brace. So basically you will take a list, and inside the list you will mention the all the categories, and you mention all the categories, so it will give you in the same format, name and marks, like this, okay? Now this was all about how you will access the categories, okay? So the main topic was selecting data, and in selecting data we have seen the column select, okay? So these two are example of single column select, single column, and this was for multiple columns. Now we'll talk about the row select, okay? For selecting the rows. So row select. So for that there are again two techniques you can say, or two ways you can say, okay? So first of all, there is one called as ILOC, I location. It means that it will give you the index. So using index you can extract the data. Then the another one is, okay, first let's see this, then we'll talk about the another one, okay? So let's say we have df, so you have to write like this, df.iloc and 0. So this will give you the name and the marks, means it will extract the first row for you, basically. So name and marks. So name was A and marks was 85, so that we are getting, okay? And name is at which index, so that also it is giving you that name from 0 index. And what is the data type? It is object, okay? Okay, so this is one way. So this was for extracting the first row, okay? This was for extracting the first row. What if you want to extract and multiple rows, then what you'll do? So for multiple, df dot I location square braces actually, and 0 colon 3, okay? So then you will be slicing. Then you will be slicing. So let me just run this. So you will get like this. So let me just do what? Print this also, and then I'll print this also. Okay, so this is how you can extract a single value. And if you want to extract multiple values like slicing, if you want to do slicing, then you can extract like this, okay? So you wanted to extract from 0 to 3, it means you wanted to extract 0, 1 and 2, okay? So you will be able to extract it. If you want to extract only 0, okay, so if you think that if you want to extract only 0 and 1, so writing 1 will be efficient, means effective. No, 0 is inclusive in nature. It means if you are writing in the start 0 whenever you are performing slicing, it is same as the list or in the arrays, okay? If you have mentioned 0, it means 0 will be included. But if you have in the end part, if you have mentioned 1, so it does not mean that it is exclusive in nature. It means one is not included. So if you want to access 0 and 1 both rows, so then what you have to do, you have to write one greater value 2. So then it will be accessed 0 and 1. So if you have to access till 2, so you have to write here 3. If you have to access till 4 row, so you have to write 5. If you have to access till 5 row, you have to write 6. This is one of the concepts which is in list also, which is in NumPy arrays also. So I don't feel that I need to explain it, okay? Start is inclusive and end part is exclusive in nature. That is the thing. So this was using the indexes, how you can access it. Then there is one more way, that is simple LOC, simple location. Now this works with the label, okay? Then you have to give the label. How it will work? Print df dot loc square braces, and what you have to do, first row, and from first row you want to extract only the name. So if you want to do that, so write the first 0 and then the label that you want to access only this category name. So it will give you only the name on the first row, that is A. Okay. Now I am using a empty print because it will give you a space, a line space between my two print commands because of that. Okay. So I hope everyone knows that. Okay. If you want to perform multiple sliced, okay. So let's say if you want to extract 0, 1, two rows, okay. So you have to write 0 colon 2 and then you have to give what are the categories which you want to access. So suppose if you want to access, let's say name and the marks, so you have to write. Oh, my bad. Square braces will be there. Okay. Yeah. Now it will work. Yeah. Okay. So remember in ILOC and LOC there will be square braces. Okay. They are not function. They are act like uh attributes. No, not attributes. Accessing some values. Okay. So it is not a function. It is acts like an attribute only. Okay. So because of that, there is this square braces comes to play. And this is the value. Okay, so i have only make I have only make two columns, so because of that I'm accessing those, and further we'll create more columns and we'll try to access them. Okay. Okay, let's say in our Titanic data set, okay, let's take the example of our Titanic data set. So passenger ID is there, survived is there. Okay, so let's say if you want to access this. Okay, where I'm loading this? Okay, I'm loading it over here. So I'll just rename it. I'll make it tie. Okay, so df tie. And let's try to apply this. So what I'll do, uh, let's first try indexing with this. So I'll just put this, and I want to extract from the dataset file.csv which I've used. So df underscore tie. Okay, so this is how I have accessed the first row of all the columns present in our Titanic dataset. Okay, now if I want to extract by this slicing, okay, means multiple rows, then what I can do, just change the name to df tie. So this is how you can extract the first and the second row of our dataset. Okay, and these are the values we'll get. Now let's try to use the okay, the location. So I'll just copy this, paste it over here. I'll make it tie. Okay, now before doing that I need to know all the column names. Okay, so for that I'll do what, I'll print all the columns from my data set which I have loaded. So now this is passenger ID, so I want the first row of passenger ID and okay, let's say for passenger ID only. Okay, let's say for name, not passenger ID, name. Okay, so for my first passenger, or the name of the first passenger was Brown Mr. Owen Harris. Okay, like this. Okay, let's try this one where I want to extract multiple categories. Okay, so let's try this one. So I want to extract the name, so I'll keep the name as it is. Then let's say sex, gender type, then age I want to extract, so I'll put age. Okay, now age, I'll put it inside the double quotes, and then what? Then fair. Okay, okay, now let's run this. Okay, not in index. Oh, sorry, I didn't change the dataset name. Okay, so as you can see, we have extracted the first three rows. Okay, 0, 1, and 2, and these are the values which we have extracted: name, sex, age, and fair. So few categories which we have extracted. Okay, so this is how it works. Okay, I hope it is clear. Then now the next thing which we'll see that how we can filter data. Okay, so we'll see filtering data, how we can filter the data. So for that, I'm not going to work on this df.tie. Okay, I'll take my initial df which I have created. Okay, this one. Okay, this one which I've created, I'll work on this. So now first of all, let me just do what, I'll just copy it. I'll just copy it and paste it here, then it will be easy for you guys also. Okay, now this is my data set. Okay, this is my data set. Now as you can see, name and marks is there, and now I have to filter the data. Okay, so what I'll do, I have to filter the data. So I'll basically, how you will perform filtering. So for that, uh, first of all, use the print df square braces, then you will access whatever column you want to, means based on which column you want to filter. Suppose based on marks I want to filter that, print all the values which have, on the basis of marks which have greater marks, means greater marks than 80, means which has score more than 80 marks. Okay, that. So first of all, you have to write df, the data frame name from which you want to do. Then inside that df, you will put a square braces, and then you will make sure that which column you want to extract. So you want to extract the marks. Then here you will give greater than 80. Okay, you'll print it, and you will get all the values where the marks was greater than 80. So obviously there was only three values: 85, 92, and 70. So you will get 85 and 92, a and b. You will get a and b. Okay, this is there. Then there is one more way of filtering. Suppose uh, if you want to filter on two conditions. Okay, so again everything will be same, only the condition will get summed up. Okay, means you will use the logical operator. So first you will extract the which column. So based on marks only you want to extract. So okay, so let's make it marks. Okay, now marks should be greater than 80. Okay, and and it should be uh and it should be the marks. So I'll again have to ask them, extract the marks. It should be less than and less than 90. Okay, and for more efficient, I'll do what, I'll make it inside the braces. Okay, because there are two conditions, no, so they do not get collide, or we should, for proper efficiency, we'll just put it inside the braces. Okay, so only a, which is greater than 80 and less than 90. So only A satisfies in that range. So we'll get only A. So this is how you can filter your data present in your data set. Okay. Okay. Let's say how you can add or update your columns. Okay. So adding and updating your columns, how you can do that. Okay. So let's say if you have to create one more column, new column called as a status. So you will first use your data frame name df, then whatever the column you want to add, whatever category you want to add, just let's say you want to add status, which is a new column. So you will write status. Now, whatever values you want to put in that category, that you will, so how you will do it? Suppose I want to put the marks which are greater than 80, I want to put it in the category status. Okay, so let's do that. So I'll extract the marks and I'll give the condition greater than 80. Okay, and that's it. Let's execute this. Okay, and let's print df. So now guys, as you can see, this condition will evaluate true or false, because obviously if it is greater than 80 then it will give you true. If it is not greater than 80 then it will give you false. Okay, so now earlier initially my data frame was only having name and marks categories. Now I have added status, and the condition in status which I have given, that there should be boolean values, and those values should be based on this uh, condition. Okay, so now when I have print df, as you can see, name and marks was already there. Now status is also there, and because based on this condition, A and B satisfies that they are greater than 80, so true, true, and C does not satisfy that, for that it is false. So this is how you can add or update columns. Now, if you have to update the column, then you have to keep the same column name here. Suppose marks, so you need to keep this from status to marks only. So it will be updated with the new values. Okay. Okay. Then we'll see deleting, deleting the columns or a row. How you can delete columns or rows from your data set. So for that there is a function called as drop. Okay, so df dot drop, and let's say if you want to drop this status, okay, a status column. So if you want to delete this status column, then you have to make sure that axis should be 1. Axis 1 means that you want to do it, you want to delete it the column. Okay, not the, you want to delete the column, not the row. So the whole column will be deleted. So first you have to write drop status, then you have to make sure axis is 1, and if you want to delete one row, so you have to make it 0. Okay, so 0. So now I want to delete the whole column status, so I'll make it 1. And there is one more important parameter which in the time of deleting this is comes to play, that is in place. Okay, so in place, in place, which will you make it true. Now why you will make it true is because there is a reason. If you want to make the changes, and that time only it should be applied to your data frame, so that is in place, that the changes that you have made, that the column will be deleted and immediately affected to your data frame. Okay, so for that you make it in place true, otherwise it will not be implemented. It will be dropped, but it will be stored somewhere else. So if you don't want that, if you want to direct reflect your data frame, so you can make in place equals to true. Okay, now I'll print my data frame, and as you can see, status is no more there, it has been deleted. So this is how you can delete a column. If you want to delete a row, so this is for deleting column. If you want to delete a row, then what you can do, df dot drop. Now which row you want to delete? Suppose the first row, 0. Okay, and make sure the axis is equals to 0. Okay, so axis is equals to 0, it means row wise deletion will happen, and you want to delete the first row, 0 row, and again in place equals to true. Okay, again I'll print the df for you to re-verify. So now you will see the first row is deleted, so now it is starting from 1 and then 2. A is not there, 0 is not there. Okay. Now the next thing which we'll see is uh, how to handling the missing values. Okay, the next thing which we'll see is handling the missing values. So for that, first of all, you have to check. Okay, first of all, you have to check that how many missing values you have in your data frame. So df.isNull, and let me just print it. So df.isNull is name marks. So because why it's giving us false, because we have no null values because of that. Now if you don't want in this way, you want in some manner, means total sum should be there. Okay, so then you can go for this technique. Print is what data frame name is null. Okay, like this, and then you will apply the dot sum function. So now this will give you column wise name, and then how many null values are there, the total addition of them. So 0 because there are no values. Okay, if I'll apply it in my this one, in my Titanic data set, then you might get, okay, yeah. Then here you can see for passenger ID, survive, precast, name, sex, there is 000. In age there was, we have already seen it also. In age there was some null values. So how many null values? 177 null values are in age. Then for rest of there is no null value. Then again in cabin there is 687 null values, which is more than the 50%. And then there is in embark there are only two missing values. Okay, so this is how it will give you. Okay, I hope you have understood. Okay, if you want to check in this one also, so what you have to do, you have to just go and edit your data frame, then it will might work. Okay, then the next thing which we'll see is how to fill datas in those data values. Okay, on the missing ones. Okay, so fill, how you'll fill the data. So it's very simple. The method name is only fill na. Okay, fill na means where you are finding null values, na values, where you have to fill it. Okay, and fill it with, okay, 0. Fill na 0, and there are two ways of using it. So first of all, let's see. So wherever it will find, okay, I have to make sure that it is ti. Okay, and I have to print ti only. Now, first command which I have run it over here is df.fillna0. Now, why I have make sure that it should be 0? It means that wherever the values, means there could be some values which are not that much good. It means they are not in, they are in some different manner. Suppose there is nan. Okay, so we don't want that. Suppose there should be some erroneous values. So we don't want that. So it should be replaced with 0. So that's why we have make that all the null values should be made filled with 0. And then what we can do, and then we can suppose, if you'll see on the age. Okay, so age has 177 null value. So what we'll do, first of all, we have filled those value with 0. Now it will, what we'll do, we'll access the age. Okay, so age is a category, so age. And okay, focus, everyone please stay focused. Fill na, this is a very important thing. Okay, we'll talk about in our next live session more deeply, but okay, this is the initial thing. So yeah, first of all, you have accessed the age column. Okay, then you have applied the fill na function. Okay, now fill na with what value you want to fill those null values, that is the main important thing. So first of all, on what category you want to apply this fill na? So on age, because as we have extracted already that age is the column where 177 null values are there. Okay, so okay, then we have applied the fill na function to that. Now inside the fill NA, we will write the command for what thing we want to fill it. Means suppose if you want to fill it with the average value, so you have to extract the average value. If you want to fill it with the most common frequency, then you have to come up with the mode. Okay, so that is there. So df dot, not dot, df dot, and you want to extract the age column, and you want to fill all the null values present in the age column with all the, means all the average value for the age column. Okay, so you will do mean. So you want to fill the null values with the average values of all the values present in our age column. So what you will do, df age dot fill na, you will fill it with the df age and you will extract the average of it, and you will make sure that you will make it in place equals to true. So this will make sure that the changes will be right away affected in your directly in your data frame. Okay, and I guess my data frame name is not df, my data frame name is dfti. I don't know why I'm getting confused, because there are too many dfs. Because of that I'm getting confused. So df underscore ti, df underscore ti, and here also I have to print df underscore ti. Okay, and not only that, I have to fill it over is null dot sum. Okay, then it will give us the total sum of the null values, and then we can clearly check that if there are null values now or not. So now guys, as you can clearly see, on the age, because we have filled the age, means all the null values with the average of the age column. So now there are zero. Okay, zero null values in our age column, and you can clearly see that how in just one line we just filled all the null values. Okay, and it was so easy. So that's why I was saying you that first of all you need to know your data set clearly. Okay, and then Python has everything, Pandas has everything, and you can do it. Okay, so yeah, this is there. And then there is now suppose if there are null values, suppose in Kevin there are total 891 values are there, out of 687 values are uh, out of this 687 values are, what you say, they are null values. So 50, more than 50% of the values are nulls. It means you don't need to fill it. Then what you can do, then directly you can uh, drop this data set. Now this is one of the concept. Okay, uh, I'm not talking about the concept. Okay, this concept will learn it some more time. I'm telling about you the drop, how to drop all the null values. So what you can do, df underscore ti dot drop na is the method which is used to drop. Okay, then what you can do, print df underscore ti dot is null dot sum, and that's it. Okay, okay, it's not deleted. I think I have to mention the, I feel I have to mention the, I think I have to mention the, there is one attribute called as subset equals to, then the category name. What was the category name? Cabin. Okay, it's not working. If this is not the way, then I have to mention the column name. Okay, Okay, it's okay. We'll cover it in the next class. I'll check it and what is there, and then we'll try to do it. Okay. So, guys, I feel that there are too many things left. Okay, there is this drop thing which I'll recheck and I'll come up in the next live session. Then there is sorting, renaming the columns. Then there is the most important thing, that is group by and aggregation. Then how to merge two data frames and join them. Concatenate is there. Then working with the date time data frame. There are many things, and then at the end we'll see how to export the data set. After that, the basics of the pandas will be completed. Then we can switch to some of the data set and we'll explore the data sets. Okay. And yeah, there are many more things. So yes, it will take few live sessions to complete the pandas. Okay. So stay tuned up, and let's keep this much only for this live session. Okay. And we'll continue with the pandas only where we have left. So we have left at the fill NA, and we'll continue with the drop thing. Okay. So yeah, I hope everyone is learning, okay, and getting to know about Python. They are having, they are paying attention, okay, and learning in with their own also, okay. So that is also there. By watching the live session is not efficient. You have to learn with by practicing, okay. So do practice it whenever you guys are free. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for joining the live session, and it is very great interacting with you guys, okay. Yeah, that's the time. And guys, one more thing I'm just repeating. I whenever I come live, I just before coming live, I just update in all our platforms, okay. When I'll cover that topic, probably on the next weekends, because the weekends are the only time that I get time. And the main important thing is that whenever I come live, before that I just notify you guys in our all platforms, just like in our WhatsApp channels, on our Telegram channel, on our X platform. So everywhere I just update it. So and I just updated few hours earlier only. So you guys can just check it out and be updated. So we guys can connect in our next live session. Uh, Brahmosi is saying thank you. It's a nice session, good info. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining the live session. It feels very nice. So, yeah, that's it. That's the time. I'll end it now.